Hello, Diva Loves. It's Miss Afia the Diva and Miss Pumpkin, my beautiful little Shih Tzu, my baby girl. We don't know how long Miss Pumpkin gonna be here, but guess what? It's time for another episode of A Diva Disturbed. And today we were supposed to have a special guest. As a matter of fact, we shot a good 20-30 minutes of film before we had a power outage. My personal trainer, Tony Victory Longwolf from the Victory Garage, was going to be joining me, but unfortunately we have to table that discussion until next week. As a matter of fact, I'm still in my workout clothes, but I had to go throw on a little makeup, shake the hair out. But anyways, let's just get into it. I just got some breaking news. One of my friends just tagged me in a post. Preach on Lifetime was canceled. That show was disturbing on so many levels. I watched one episode and I was doing it because I wanted us to come together and target the advertisers. But apparently this time the petition worked from a host of I guess Christian groups and just people concerned, because the show borderline on blasphemy. I mean, I didn't even want to really talk about the show and give it any type of airtime on my channel, but I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. Let's see. Basically, you had these women that were calling themselves prophetesses, or prophets, I can't even say it. Anyway, evangelists, but they call themselves prophetess, and they had little mentees that, prophetesses in training. I said, what is this pledging? I didn't know you needed to be trained and pass tests. I mean, are we on American Horror Story COVID at this point? Because that's what it was turning into. And, basically there was really never a sermon from the way that they edited. I don't know if there was a sermon. And then one woman took her sweat towel and put it on her mentee. Okay. It was just a disturbing show. And, I feel like if you were going to present yourself as a person or follower of Christ and trying to get people into your religion, baby, look, let me tell you, you cannot make it seem like church is a freaking circus. That's basically what it looked like. It looked like a damn circus. Okay. It was a hot mess. And I was like, for people who don't know Jesus, in the pardon of their sin, they probably would either run away or find it fascinating. And I was like, what word are you teaching to these people? Because seems like to me all y'all were concerned about was casting out demons. And one of them said she the Beyonce of gospel. Girl, that is a blonde weave, a wig you and threw on your damn head, okay? She was the one that did the sweat rag thing. But either way, it's canceled. I am grateful to God that it is canceled, because it was horrible and it was deplorable and it was false and misleading. But then again, the Bible does teach us that those of us that are followers of the Christian faith, that, there will be a rise in false prophets. So the hot topic right now is Dylan Roof, the domestic terrorist that went into the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, and strategically picked off 9 people during a Bible study. To this day, I'm still disturbed by the fact that he went in and killed 9 people. And he thought he was going to start a race war. Well, Dylan, I'm here to tell you that you meant it for the bad, but God meant it for our good. Let me tell you why. Because if you look at it now, there is a mass call to get rid of a symbol of hatred and racism. Now, I grew up for a time in Mississippi, and was raised for the most part in Texas. But, when I went to South Carolina back in 2000, when I was stationed at Fort Jackson for a couple of months for a training, I was just shocked. I was like, do y'all know the war is over? I mean, the North won. But what trips me out about the whole thing that I find disturbing is that all of a sudden you have politicians like Mitt Romney and the governor of Virginia, the governor of South Carolina, saying that we need to take the flag down. When the governor of South Carolina said, I'm like, but how long you been in the governor's mansion and you ain't walked by the Capitol and seen it? But you know what? Who am I to judge? Time, place, everything works out move place. It's sad that 9 people were slaughtered, but I mean, the conversation on racism, the hate groups that are on the rise. In the previous video, Tony raised a great point when I pointed out that, I was watching the news last night, and these are disturbing statistics, is the fact that since the year 2000, the rise of hate groups, the numbers have increased by 30%. But Tony pointed out that this is probably due to the fact that information is more easily accessible, and a way to recruit people is through what? Social media. We now, at one point MySpace was hot, Facebook took over, we got Twitter, Tumblr, personal websites you can build on Wix and GoDaddy. I mean, you have email that's even more, group friendly. It's just disturbing, and it's just really sad. I still don't get hate, but again, people love to classify people based on color, size, weight, what else? Because something else that disturbed me is that there was a BuzzFeed article that was saying something about real women versus Victoria's Secret angels, and someone brought up a great point. It's just another divisive means. You're raising an issue that has no point. Body shaming. How do you think the skinny girls feel versus the curvy girls versus the overweight girls, the obese girls? We all are real women. The majority of us were born with 2 ovaries, and we have monthly cycles. I think that makes us real women. Just stop. Not all outfits are made for everybody. Okay, not all bathing suits are made for everybody, so get over it. Some people can wear the 2-piece and have their side hanging out. Trust and believe, you will not catch me in a 2-piece. As a matter of fact, I mean, my body is looking good thanks to Tony now, okay? Because, honey, I done come a long way. I lost about 30 pounds since, like, last year. I think I started my fitness journey last year. But it just disturbs me that we continue to always want to divide one another, be it, how much money you have. I mean, Tony actually raised all these points, and, it really got me to thinking, and it's disturbing that that's just how it is. Because just because I'm black, you think that I'm lazy and incompetent. And, my response to that is, well, who was sitting on the porch sipping iced tea or standing out in the fields riding a horse, whipping the slaves to get them to pick their cotton? Because they were too lazy to get their own kids out there to work their land. Okay. So back to South Carolina and the Confederate flag, which quite frankly is a symbol of hatred and all this stuff. And now I just thought about something as a kid. Anybody else who grew up like in the 80s? Oh my God. I used to love the Dukes of Hazzard and Boss Hogg and General Lee. Does that make us bad to watch that? I don't know. Anywho, moving on to, let's see what else. Oh, retailers. What shocked me, and I just had to laugh because I'm like, really? You didn't know? The CEO of Walmart claims he didn't even know they were selling Confederate paraphernalia like that. Dude, y'all's headquarters is in Arkansas. Mike Huckabee used to be y'all's governor. Y'all think y'all ain't got no rebel flags up in there? Bye, Curtis. That's my new thing for everybody. Bye, Curtis. You got bye, Felicia. If you a guy, I'm gonna call you bye, Curtis. I don't know. I came up with that. Another comic said a joke, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say bye. I can't remember the comic's name, but he is hella funny. Next video, I'm gonna give full credit because after going to law school, intellectual property law, I believe in giving credit where credit is due, okay? But basically, the politicians, they all on the bandwagon. Yeah, let's get rid of the flag. Flag been around for 150 some years. And I watched a disturbing video that one of my fellow comics had posted, and this young man was saying that he got the point when Stephen Smith said black people should vote Republican at least once. And he was talking about the divisive nature of the two groups and the fact that the Democrats are, the roles got reversed because, everyone was quick to say that the Republicans are the party of Lincoln. The parties aren't the same anymore. They just aren't. Republicans today, it's all about self. Democrats, they're a little bit more on the liberal social side. They want to help people. But he said the means of helping people is just another form of slavery. Here's what's disturbing to me. We all are slaves. Patrice O'Neal made a good point, and I even raised the point too. We all are slaves. It is disturbing to me the amount of debt that we have and the fact that the tax laws are not in people's favor, like myself, who have no children, dependents, or don't own property. And I don't own property because I live in California, and I just can't see myself spending $300,000 for 800 square feet and 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. And sometimes, and that's for a condo. Houses are going for $500,000 out here, okay? And it's ridiculous. And we have the highest taxes. And we also, another thing that disturbs me about California, why is it we got to pay a nickel for all the plastic and the recyclables? I don't think that's fair. You're already getting us on taxes. Can't you divert those funds somewhere else, California? I should start a petition to get rid of it. I need to look up the laws. Anyway, I'm all over the place because why not? These are things that are randomly disturbing the diva as they come, just playing off of other topics. Okay, so politicians on lake freight, don't be fooled. It's a distraction. It is an election year coming up. They want to defeat Hillary or even Bernie Sanders. I identify as Democrat, but I'm rolling with Bernie or I'm rolling with Hillary. I don't know. I gotta see where they stand. That's all I know. So Amazon, Sears, shout out to you all. Who else? Walmart, Etsy even has joined. You can't sell Confederate, but they say that this stuff is selling out like a fire sale. Like, I guess these retailers are giving these people, like Amazon allows you to independently sell, eBay, so they're giving these people opportunities. So I guess a bunch of people are either buying them to store in their houses and basements and hang in their windows, or some people might be buying them just to have a bonfire and just burn them up. Just burn it up. Burn up the hate. Let's see. What else was I going to say? Oh, another thing that disturbs me is that there's a young man who did a 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Byron, what's his name? Byron Thomas. Uncle Ruckus. They once call him Uncle Thomas, call him Uncle Ruckus. If you watch Boondocks, everybody know who Uncle Ruckus is. He don't believe he black. And he's all about the white man. He's almost like Samuel's character in, what was that Jamie Foxx movie? Quentin Tarantino. Why the hell can't I remember movie names? Oh, I'm having a blank moment. But anyways, he basically said that he has it in his college dorm room, first of all, in a window, and the campus has called for him to take it down. Fellow students, even black and white and other, have said it's offensive, take it down. Guess what? He doesn't want to take it down. He says that the flag is part of our heritage. Young man, you are 20 something years old. You have lived in the lap of luxury. We have enjoyed a time of freedom when some of you are oblivious to being judged by the color of your skin. Hell, I was born in the late 70s, and even I was oblivious to some things. I didn't get called the N-word until I moved to California. And I grew up in the South, okay, and in some podunk towns too. Child, put it to you this way. Where I grew up as a little kid was rural Mississippi. Gravel road, cows, chickens and horses and a goose. Okay. But guess what? We never got called the N-word. And in school, I knew I was black, but no one made a big deal about it. So he said that it's part of his heritage. He is not taking the flag down. First of all, he really can't take it because of the fringe upon his right. Furthermore, the college would probably have some policy in place, but it would probably be challenged by him or the likes of him. And, I just say ban the Confederate flag. This is just the tipping point. This is the beginning of something. There will be new controversies that come up, but right now this is a hot topic. So I say get rid of it. I didn't realize the state of Mississippi had it like built into their flag. I didn't stay around long enough to learn all Mississippi history. I just know that by last year they just figured out that all the slaves were free. I don't know what they thought. Okay. Anyway, what else do I want to talk about? Good news is with the Dylan Roof case, the magistrate did decide to say we should feel sorry for the family of Dylan Roof. I get where he was going with that, but the timing of it was just inappropriate and downright disturbing. Furthermore, it was reported that he called somebody the N word in court. As a matter of fact, if I remember the quote, and this is off the top of my head, he said something about there are four kinds of people in this world: black people, N word, white people, and white trash, or something. I'm like, well, you've been in South Carolina too long. There's other people like Asians and Latinos, and the Latino culture and Asian cultures can be broken down into other, I don't know. Anyway, needless to say, that magistrate has been dismissed by the Supreme Court. No reason was given, but no reason needed to be given. Bye, Curtis. Okay, he gone. He ain't disturbing us no more. Bet you learn next time to keep your mouth closed. Matter of fact, all y'all need learning. You people that have a problem with people of color, if they don't look like you got a problem. There was also, I mean, y'all should know, keep your mouth shut, keep your opinions to yourselves. You feel comfortable on social media where you can say and do whatever you want to. Yes, this is America. Yes, there is freedom of speech, but you also have clauses probably in your contract where, you have to keep it GP. Okay? So, the teacher already got fired. I forgot what she got. Oh, the McKinney. She spoke on the McKinney thing. She got fired. Then had to apologize. That heifer didn't write that apology. The school district wrote that for her. You also have the fireman. His name is Curtis in a small town in Texas. First of all, he a volunteer. He's a volunteer firefighter. You can't even keep a volunteer position because you too busy trying to talk about how the dude Dylan did a great job killing 9 black people. Now you can't even be a fireman. And even if you do, can't anybody you're a PR nightmare. Like you always. So bye Curtis to you, bye Felicia to the school teacher, and bye to anyone else who got fired from their job for saying inappropriate things at the inappropriate time. Oh, y'all disturb me. So many dirts disturb my soul. Ooh. Okay. But let's get on to more pop culture matters. Let's talk about folk that are in need of a lawyer. It is disturbing to me that years later, Puff Daddy still hasn't. He will always be Puff Daddy to me. I know he go by P. Diddy. Okay, but he will always be Puffy to me. Okay. Bad Boy Sean John record exec father was at training camp or at practice with his son. The conditioning coach was going in on Justin. That's his baby. As a matter of fact, I think Justin is his firstborn son. That's his baby. The coach was telling Justin, I'm not going to treat you any different just because your daddy is P. Diddy. And that's where P. Diddy jumped Judy and started acting a fool during practice. Sean, I know you ain't been to college. You ain't played no college sports. So you don't understand how it goes. They get talked trash to all the time. It don't matter. I'm sure, I'm trying to think what famous kids could have came through there. I'm sure if the Schwarzenegger kids came, he would probably have said, just because your daddy is Arnold and your mom is Maria, I'm not going to treat you any differently. Those are the breaks. Now, if some team call your son out his name, such as, monkey, ape, N-word, you cool. So now you got an assault charge. You try to assault the man with the kettlebell. I'm trying to figure out how you assault somebody with kettlebell. My kettlebell is over there. I was going to go get it, but I'm trying to figure out, was it 3 pound, 5 pound? Then domestic terrorist charges. Yeah. Because you making domestic threats to do bodily harm to somebody. Child, better call Saul. And Johnny Cochran dead and gone. Rest his soul. Oh God, I so wanted to move to LA and work and be mentored by him after I graduated from law school. Rest his soul. I was devastated when that happened. Better call Saul. But then again, you do have Mark Garagos and Tom Mesereau. And I will also do a shameless plug for my very good friend Brian Bazonsky. He is a damn good criminal defense attorney, and he knows other damn good. So you better call one of them. That's all I'm saying, because you in hot water, and I just can't believe you are a grown ass man acting, pitching a fit and having a temper. Yes, that's your child, but he didn't put his hands on your son. He didn't call him out his name. There was no reason for it to get ugly. Hopefully the charges get dropped. Maybe you'll just get community service and anger management courses, and maybe your attorney can negotiate getting the domestic terrorist charge dropped. You know, remain calm. We understand it's your baby. Another celebrity, every day I'm hustling. Rose! What in, as my friend Brandy likes to say, what in the fresh hell was going through your mind, Rick Ross? What the hell? So you done pistol whipped somebody that was working at your house, doing some repairs, you and your bodyguard that got picked up by the feds. And that's bad. As federal charges, oof, they tend to have longer stints. You got charged with assault with a deadly weapon. You pistol whipped somebody. You got charged with kidnapping, which means that whomever this individual was in fear for their life and was afraid to leave. They felt confined. That's the basic definition of kidnapping. I may have left out some other elements, but in general, it's understood that when you are confined in a place where you feel that you cannot leave, there does not need to be any restraints. It's just kidnapping. And so the feds them came and picked you and your bodyguard up. Better call Saul. Ain't no damn sense, grown ass man. Just because you a celebrity and all, you don't have to be disrespectful of people. I'd be curious to know what the story is about what prompted you to fly into a rage and do bodily harm to somebody with a pistol. Child. Club fed. All right. Hello Beautiful is where I heard this news from, and they were dead to the bed wrong for this. Oh my god, I died laughing, but then again I had to, my friend who's a nurse had to give me the straight facts. Either way, I'm going to say it how it said. Tammy Roman announces her geriatric pregnancy at 45. So Tammy Roman, who we saw recently, I didn't know she was on couples therapy and marriage boot camp, but I saw on Celebrity Wife Swap, she had said she didn't want any more kids, but she's dating this younger dude who's 17 years her junior. Is it 17 years her junior? Yeah. And now y'all gonna have a baby. He announced it 6 weeks, which is terribly unusual because usually most people, especially at her age, is you try to get over the first trimester, which is the first 3 months, because by then, even if there's a period of time. One of my friends said, he questions whether she's even pregnant because with reality stars, as a matter of fact, it was Tony. With reality stars, they have to stay in the spotlight to stay relevant. It's all about getting them coins. So, I mean, who are we to judge? I don't know. If she is pregnant, I just hope that she does the right thing. I hope she really has given up the cigarettes and, can be a mother. I mean, an energetic one too, but at least her husband is younger and is a former pro, was it basketball or football? Football player. I think she got over the basketball after Kenny Anderson. I guess these celebrities are working the reality show circuit. Someone else mentioned to me that Kendra and her husband Hank are having problems, and they've been on marriage boot camp and some other things too. And she working the circuit too. I think he got caught one time with a transgendered man. And he likes to have sex with transgenders or he I don't know, shit. These celebrities, it's Hollywood. You don't know what's real and what's not, and they get into some things that's just disturbing to me. Like everyday people do it, but they do it more so because they believe they're invincible and untouchable. But whatever. What else? Oh Lord, somebody we know and love since facts of life, living single. Kim Fields. Today! Regine. Rumor mill is swirling that she's going to become a cast member of Real Housewives of Atlanta. As Whitney Houston told Leela Rashawn and Waiting to Exhale, girl, enjoy the low life while you can, honey. Girl, baby, look, let me tell you. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You are too established of an artist, actress, to want to be part of something like that. They just, I don't think it's for you. But you know, everyone does what's best for them. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't. I would just keep producing shows and doing behind the scenes camera work. Cause girl, Real Housewives of Atlanta is not living single, okay? Let's see what else we got. Oh, I haven't been able to talk about this. This happened a couple of weeks ago. My boo, Chris Brown. Everybody know I love Chris Brown. Seems like all the autumn leaves are falling. Pretty much, that's what's going on with Chris Brown. Karrueche has moved on. Finally. And he can't take it. Now, I personally don't know if it's because he really loves her or he feels like I wasn't the one to break up, so I should be able to hold on to you a little while longer so I can break up with you. You never know. Men have ego trips. I still to this day have a stalker that we have not been together, God, 3 or 4 years, and he still will pop up. Not like physically, but just the fact that you leave notes on my door and car and voicemail messages, it's disturbing. And Chris Brown is disturbing. Your behavior is disturbing. Tony made a good point about Chris Brown, and that is the fact that Chris is young. When he got into the industry, he was young. What I find even more interesting is that child stars like Malcolm Jamal Warner and forgive me, y'all, I'm having like brain blanks all of a sudden. But you know, Rudy, the child star that played Rudy, all of them, I mean, you don't hear about them in the headlines. Regina King, you just don't hear about it. So you wonder, you know, what happened? You know, because, you know, but maybe Chris Brown's mom felt like, well, you know, I think she's a single mom or whatever. But it's just really sad how he acts. I mean, he told us he was confused, and it's very obvious he is confused. He flip-flops. He wants to be good, but then something happens. He snaps. He gets angry. Obviously, anger management classes didn't work, but just the fact that, you know, the friends tried to get them back together, and it turned out to be a disaster, and Chris acted a plumb fool, and Karrueche is like, I'm just done. It's ridiculous. I was glad to see that on Father's Day, you know, Chris was saying he's going to do everything for royalty. That should be your motivation to stay on the straight and narrow, because Chris, I honestly am there for you. I am Team Breezy, Team Chris Brown, but you got to get it together, son. You got to get it together. There is too much talent there. I mean, there are not many artists that can do what you do. You can sing. You're an artist as in paintings and drawings. You can dance your pants off. There's only one other artist that comes to mind, and that, oh, you act too. I Still Love You as Baby in This Christmas. I love that movie. You were so funny in Think Like a Man, and I loved you in Takers. You're just all around talented entertainer. You can sing, dance, draw. I mean, you're amazing. And, you know, just like you said, you talk to God. Keep talking to God. Get more into meditation and prayer. And, you know, hopefully everything comes together, you know, for you. I'm definitely Team Breezy. No tea, no shade. I love Chris Brown. I just do. It's something about him. But moving on, well, we have a real life Rachel Dolezal, although she did not know she was a white woman. So this lady out of Texas was adopted back in 1942 by a black family and was raised as a black woman and was told she was just a light-skinned black woman. Her parents, something, her mother had a tragic accident. I think the father left. But when you look, the picture that they had, it was she looked biracial or possibly Native American Latina. So it's perfectly, easy for them to say that she was black. And then the picture of her mother, she was light skinned black woman. So I mean, I believe it. And she's upset. And my friend came on my page the other day and just basically said, it was so funny to me. I was laughing because I was like, you're crazy and have no sense. And she was like, basically, she's just mad because all this time people were looking down on her when she could have been looking down on other people. Which brings me to my next topic. Social media trolls, y'all have got to stop. Because y'all done baited me more than once. And I've had to get rid of some people off of my social media accounts. And it's just downright disturbing to me that you all continue to just do that. It's like, so you get people riled up where you say the most outlandish things, like you're Rush Limbaugh or Ann Coulter's old scary looking, Skeletor looking ass, and just say stuff that's just like, what? So this chick came on my page that I do know, or I thought I knew. I think I've only been in her presence once or twice. She decided to come on and say something slick, talking about she was only playing, but I read what you said and it was highly inappropriate. And then, I tagged them both in the post that I had to put up because the whole Dylan Roof thing has caused some people to say things, when others are not in agreement. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. As long as you don't name call anyone out, I don't mind debates going down on my social media. So I basically told people, just be respectful and mindful of others' thoughts and opinions. No name calling. And so I tagged them both in it. My friend said, hey, I've always been respectful. Don't pull me into this kind of mess. And then she said, yeah, don't be pulling me into the other girl said, don't be pulling me into this mess. You're just a drama queen. And she just kept attacking me, saying I was making something out of you're being overly dramatic. And I said, are you okay? You obviously are ego tripping or something. Even had the nerve to post a picture of Shanae with a girl by. And I was like, first of all, you are not even black. You Asian. You need to get your life and have several seats and take your Prozac, because obviously you were not on your medication and was actually going through a manic period or whatever, because your ass was crazy and that's why you got blocked and deleted. Then had the nerve to go on Twitter talking about I lose more friends on Facebook than I have. No, I get into more fights on Facebook than I have friends in real life. Well, then that right there should tell you you're the common denominator, and that's why you end up with no friends and you end up being blocked from people's social media. Talking about let's unblock me and inbox me so we can talk about it. There's nothing to talk about. You showed me who you really are. You've done it a couple of times on my page. I just never said anything. I just kind of just dismissed it and didn't engage. But lately, I don't know. I'm just in a weird type of space. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about social media trolls. All I can say is when people act a fool on your page, the best thing you can do is just block and delete them and move on, because it's all kinds of crazies, and I live in LA. I mean, all kinds of people that are seemingly normal and then they turn out to be crazy. So what else? Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of the Pan-African movement, who wants to build a all full facility school for boys. Anyway, he preaches this doctrine of, basically, sounds like to me, if it's true, do as I say, not as I do. Basically, he got busted dealing with a stripper because he claims to be celibate. And, he is a single man with 2 kids out of wedlock, from what I understand. And so anyway, this stripper that he started calling her, oh, so you the conscious stripper, outed him. And, you know, I just said it must have been one of those situations where she was like, maybe Dr. Umar didn't pay her some money. And she was like, bitch, but I have my money. Pay me what you owe me. I said, that's what happened. Because, honey, you out here dealing with some women that want them coins, honey. And so I briefly read the interview. I didn't read its entirety, but she seems pretty intelligent. She's just a stripper, although she says, please do not refer to her as a stripper. She's an entertainer. She dances for men and women in the club. But I'm like, if there's some clothes coming off, then you would take stripping your garments off. So paint it up however you want to, you know, whatever. Uh, Finally, I'm gonna talk briefly on this topic because this video is going long. Um, Love and Hip Hop ATL. I need to get back into doing my reviews for those. I just haven't had time. The diva, like I've said, is working two jobs. Plus, now I've gotten into fashion styling and trying to get that off the ground. If you visit my Instagram and even my public page on Facebook, you'll see how I basically take pieces out of my closet and, you know, style them. And I look at things. I look at a lot of fashion magazines, Pinterest, certain fashion blogs I follow. And sometimes I'll be like, I have those pieces or similar pieces in my closet, so I assemble them together. I haven't really been doing a lot of stand-up, and one of my friends was fussing at me about that because he feels like I'm actually pretty good, which I was like, that's great that you think that, but I don't know. I feel like I'm being pulled into another direction, but I digress. But for Love and Hip Hop, I just briefly wanted to talk about Mimi and Kadia. If you remember, was it last season or the season before, I don't remember, when Mimi first got wrapped up and involved with Nico, and Nico told her she was damaged. Ouch. That hurts. Truth of the matter is, the fact that you did a sex tape and, you know, brokered it for business purposes as a mother of a child, and then tried to paint it to us that you were doing it for your daughter, you know, why lie? Own your truth. You know, apparently Margot was a prostitute or something, his wife, and I was like, oh Lord, this is just a hot ass mess. Haven't watched the episodes, but one of my favorite friends, Karima, I'm calling you out, girl. She's an excellent Facebook person to just commentate on these shows and have me dying laughing with her commentary. You know what? I should try to get her. Apparently I can do a Google Hangout. Maybe we'll do a review together. But Kadia is taking care of her man, Young Jock, who is listed at being worth $7.5 million, has 8 children by, 4 different women, and is still legally married to his second baby mama, I think. They've been separated for 12 years. Disturbing. But Kadia went into this situation knowing that he had all these kids and these different personalities for women, and now she crying because she all heartbroken. I don't know what happened in Mimi's life. Well, actually, we do know the root cause of Mimi's troubles is the rejection she got from her mother, because her mother forsaked her, left her for the Church of Scientology. Women like Mimi, if you would just learn to accept what has been, and if you need help, go see a therapist. I don't know if all of this is just for storyline to keep you on the show so you can keep having that money coming in, but I mean, was the sex tape really worth it? And it was boring as hell, because I'm not ashamed to say I did sneak, you know, kind of watch it, but the best highlights was the previews that I think it was, I forgot who, World Star Hip Hop had. So baby, look, y'all, Kadia, I don't know. You don't need to take care of a man. You don't. You've got all these businesses and streams of income coming in. Why do you need to support a man who doesn't appreciate you? He's not ready to settle down. He wasn't ready to settle down when he married his first wife. He wants to continue to sow his seed and procreate and be with all these different women. I think you should just count your losses and move on. Any female that is trapped in the situation where they feel that they need a man, in order to keep a man, they got to pay for him, take care of him, sacrifice her self-worth, as the saying goes, check your price tags. It's disturbing. I've been there, but I did a lot of that stuff in my 20s. You know, like, but some of these women, like, I think Mimi is in her 40s and doing this. Like, girl, get your life. Kadia is still young. She'll learn. There's still hope for her. But, I mean, ladies, just, if you are in a bad relationship, either, you know, because the abuse that Mimi is under is that emotional abuse. People like Stevie J, you know, they played on her neediness. It's just really, really sad. It's really sad. And, you know, go see somebody. Get some help. It's disturbing that so many of these females are out here dealing with these dudes that don't even care about them. It's really sad. But anyway, this video is way too long, but there's so much going on in the world today, people. But next Wednesday or Thursday, not sure when we'll get the video edited and up, my personal trainer will be joining us. This will be interesting because I love his takes on things. As a matter of fact, I shared some as best as you can. Did I finish that thought? Because I kind of was in the stream of consciousness. Oh yeah, remember, student loans are indentured servitude, taxes, indentured servitude. We're all slaves. We're all in this together. So get over it. Let's get over the color of people's skin. As the late, great Martin Luther King Jr. said, hate has yet to solve any problems. And for those of you who keep telling black people and even others that have suffered to get over it, until you have stood in our shoes, you will never understand. And I'm not going to even give you any more energy on trying to explain to you what it's like for the black experience or for anyone's experience. If more of us were more mindful and more conscious of, you know, or taking time to learn. Like, I appreciate my friend Tommy. He had a lot of questions from the last video I did about race. I appreciate how he came to me. He didn't attack me. He was just asking points of clarification. And I appreciate that, Tommy. I don't know if you're going to watch this video, because this video is hella long, like you said the last one was. But anyway, you know, Diva loves. I am Miss Afia the Diva. This has been another edition of a Diva Disturbed, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe I'll do a shorter video. I probably should have done this in 2 parts, but what can I say? The lawyer within me. There's no such thing as brevity. Anyway, have a great week, great night, great day. Hey, 2 more days till the weekend. Hey, Diva out.